Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, nice. We will train this over the day. In the end, we'll say Calimera! Okay, I'm Lars Vogdt. I'm the team lead of the services team inside SUSE. And part of my job is also to drive some of the infrastructure behind openSUSE. And I'd like to give you an overview today about whom we are, what we have, what we do not, and maybe in the end have a short discussion if you have questions or so. I already covered, hopefully, some questions that I got during the last days. And yeah, if that does not help, because I have just half an hour, I scheduled above at 1500, so in that case we will just move the discussion over there and follow up there. Okay, first, as all of us want to know what's behind the infrastructure, here are some hidden pictures. This is our ARM farm, our racks. The next ARM build hosts storage, the cloud rack, something I even cannot remember. And yeah, that's the openSUSE infrastructure I want to talk about today. So those are all the machines, but the question is who we are. And I have brought with me some pictures. Of course, we always have bugs, that's why he is there. But we also have some nice guys, like Thomas Schmidt, working all days fixing OpenFate or features.opensuse.org, especially the database, crashing much often today. Mr. Weber, working in Provo, Utah, USA, running some parts of the infrastructure. Martin Chai, sitting in Prague, driving from this location some parts of the infrastructure, helping with mirroring. Matthew Ehle, also sitting in Provo. I guess some of you might know this guy already. Henne, more or less firefighter, but mainly the man behind lists openSUSE.org. Some guy, I'm happy to have this picture found in the web. Thanks, Jürgen. So this is when he started. In former days, he's more crazy sitting in front of the computer, but you have to see him when he does this. Okay, I guess most of you already know Kulo, currently working on the build service a lot, especially the API and the web UI, and most of the time bring the build service down. I don't know if it's a paid task or if it's doing it just for fun. But then, Yaloki, Pascal Blazer, of course, currently not here, but I mentioned him because he's one of the craziest guys setting up most of the crazy stuff that now we have to maintain. Bernhard, sitting here, thanks. Driving OpenQA. Christopher, currently not available. I guess that's the first conference he missed. Doing Hermes, so if you get some emails from the build service, he's the one who normally is responsible for it. And the master of disaster, Dirix, or as most of them call him, Mr. Universe, Mr. I know everything, and for me, the best one, I can fix everything. So if you ever have questions about a service you don't know how to restart it or so, he's the one you normally want to ask because he is able to fix it. And yeah, we have many, many more people, but those are the ones where I get pictures from. So that's why it's currently limited. But I want to show you where you can find more information. It's on the wiki already, so there's a services team wiki page where you can find normally my team. There is also a build service team wiki page where you can find most of the guys currently driving the build service. And most of the time when the servers are down, they are coming to us or to me. But they're responsible for the software part, more or less. But at least Adrian is also helping a lot in terms of fixing hardware and restarting all the servers again and again. And we have a lot of community members. So I hope you will find some of those nicknames useful when you're in the IRC channel. So now you know that those maybe can also help you. In the end, it's around 13 people inside SUSE. And please be aware that this list of 13 people inside SUSE does not mean that they are working full-time on the administration. That is just that they help from time to time if I ask them, and most of the time they just fix the service and then go back to the normal work. And we have 10 external people already helping us to maintain the services and provide you with all that what you need normally. So we are 23 people at all. And if you say, okay, it's just 1 hour that everyone spends over the year, we are reaching a limit of roundly 5,000 hours per year, working just for the infrastructure, just to provide you with the needed services. So it's always a lot, and the sad story is it's decreasing, because more and more people have less time. Okay, so we saw already some pictures. Now I'll give you some numbers. Nuremberg, our headquarter of SUSE, we have 25 real machines, somewhat around 20 virtual machines. The amount is slightly decreasing and increasing over the time, depending on how many developers like to have one. We have around 45 real build workers, if they are all online and not crashing because of dying hard disks. 7 switches, different VLANs, a lot of fun with cabling. A serial console server, a KVM server, so people can remotely log in to fix a machine, more or less even if it's down. Yeah, and different storages. Luckily, SUSE provides us some storage. At the moment, we are at 28 terabyte. And the interesting part is this one is the only one that always just increases. I never saw it shrinking, but okay. Let's see how far we are in a few years with the success of the build service. But we also have Provo, a Provo data center, where Matthew and Scott are driving all those things, and they have a cluster of 3 machines driving the forums, wikis, and WordPress instances. And of course, they have another database cluster, including the storage. So Provo is currently mainly for all the wiki pages, for the forum, for Lizard News, and also driving Bugzilla openSUSE.org, which is Bugzilla Novelcom at the moment. And we have Nuremberg, where we run all the other services that are not hosted in Provo. So everything else which is not kind of forum or some kind of WordPress instance is normally located in Nuremberg. Okay, something more. Yes, we have it. We can. We have, of course, MirrorBrain. Not many are aware of it, but MirrorBrain was developed in-house, and we still use it. In our times now, SourceForge is using it, LibreOffice is using it, and more companies having download redirection problems, I say in that way, or just want to save some money at jumping on that boat and driving MirrorBrain. So it's an interesting success story for infrastructure guys. Not so visible outside because people just use it, never know what it is. We have the Open Build Service. Of course, I guess many of you know him. Building a lot of packages, building a lot of effort for us, so to fix all the machines, help people fix sometimes also their packages, thanks to Dirix. And we have a virtualization platform which started right way before somebody announces the cloud. So I cannot name it the cloud. We always say that's Alice in Wonderland, because the first server that was running this virtualization platform was called Alice. So that's why it's called Alice in Wonderland. And what we plan currently is to migrate to SUSE Cloud once the 2.0 release is finished. So there will be some changes, but currently I don't expect much interruptions of the services there. Yeah, and probably some of you might already ask, what else do we have? Yes, we have some services. We have forums, Connect, OpenQA, Hermes, News, ActiveDoc, and so on and so on. Yes, I just want to mention some here, and yeah, way more. So if you count all those services, it would be very interesting. I even lost the overview there. So having a view on the DNS servers and just getting all the names back, you might have a slight idea about how many services are really running behind openSUSE. And the bad part is that most people even don't know most of those services that are available. So if you point people, hey, have a look at legal openSUSE.org, where you can get all this stuff about legal issues. What's this? Same thing happens for ActiveDoc, for example, where you can write on your documentation for openSUSE and so on and so on. Most people don't know it, and hopefully we can change this over the time. This presentation is hopefully too short to give the whole overview about this story. Okay, so I told it already. What are our goals inside the infrastructure team for the new future? Of course, number one, promote ourselves. I guess it's a good idea. Increase the communication with the community. That's what I'm here for. Increase the awareness inside the SUSE BU. Thanks to Ralph, we're working on it. Implement rules and guidelines for our infrastructure. I guess you've seen the talk from Joss. In former times, we didn't even have some rules or guidelines for our infrastructure, and we will change this right now, today, during this talk. I will show you later. And yes, if time and money permits, refresh our hardware base, so we don't have many failures in the future. But as always, the question is how. So let's go through it. Better promotion. The current idea is to get direct contact to the marketing guys. So I expect some crazy article requests from us in the future. And probably you need to help us with the English and get some pictures online. We are starting and have started already writing blog entries about our work and what we do. So if you visit the wiki pages I mentioned before, you will see that there are links already redirecting to different blogs which are available. Yes, we know we might include them into planet.opensuse.org. I guess most of them are already. If not, just ping us and we will do it. And give talks like this one as a starting point. We just need to find a talk master because, you know, normally guys like me are normally sitting in dark keller somewhere, air conditioned, cooled down to 10 degrees, so I can work. That's probably not what you want, so we need to find someone who does it. And yeah, that's it for the goal number one. We started today. We will see how we do it in the near future. Yes, better help us before we do it on our own. Might be interesting. Okay, goal number two, increase communication. Currently, admin openSUSE.org, which is our main contact address for all of you, is just a mailing list. And that's why sometimes requests are getting lost. We have a rule, a not written down rule, that every email coming in that is not answered is an open ticket. But as always, people went on vacation, people getting sick, And normally this guy who normally acts on all those mails for example, the mirror stuff or the ERC cloaks is not available. And suddenly all others sit down and said, okay, he will handle it. But if he is not available, we just get lost of it. Bad story, so we decided we will have a public ticket system. So even those guys who have a login at openSUSE.org can log in and see and maybe even work on tickets if they like, or at least file new tickets. Yes, we better promote admin openSUSE.org, FTP, and so on. There's other mails where you can reach us. Normally they're just pointing to one address, but just to give people the impression that we are always available. We are always available in ERC channel, at least Darix is. And we will change this over the time. We have our own ERC channel now, which is openSUSE admin. So if there is a problem, just join in, tell us, and we will react, hopefully. We're currently working on a bot, which needs to start up there so we can even have a backlog tracking. And yes, we're currently thinking about consolidation days or hours, so others have their bugs crashing parties. So I guess it's time to think about getting some tutorship, introducing new people, get them on board, show them how we do it, train them, and afterwards leave them alone with all the problems, as we always do. Okay, the next goal, increase awareness. Yes, working on it. Rules and guidelines. As I mentioned, those infrastructure mentors will become more important in the next months. So when someone wants to start a new service or just join in, we will give him some tutor at hand so he can relax, slow down, and learn as fast as he wants. And of course, check the new openSUSE infrastructure policy, which is online now in the openSUSE wiki. Oh, sorry. And I missed the URL. If you go on en-openSUSE.org, infrastructure_policy, there it is. But, of course, I will just show you what our infrastructure policy is in short term. We had a discussion with the board, looked over it, and so I just give you a summary. We came and said, okay, users expect us to be reachable all the time. Services to be up all the time. And of course, everything has to be secured and everything has always to be up to date. The question is, how? Okay, so we said, in short word, we should at least have someone available. Someone who can act or react. And even if it's just, hey, yes, thanks for the information, I'll now start to find someone who can really fix it. So people are welcomed and say, okay, now my ticket is reported and someone is able to handle it. The problematic thing might be the second one, get root access for some people who get paid currently. So it's more or less my team who needs root access because we often have the experience that people from the openSUSE community have their free time, are not available, but the service is down. So people complaining on admin openSUSE.org, hey guys, for example, Planet OpenSUSE is down, please fix it. Yes, sorry, Yaloki is gone. Nobody there, nobody having a login, so nobody can fix it. But as my team is normally paid by SUSE to deliver all the services, it's just logical that we want to fix it, and to do that, we need just root access, getting on the machine, fixing it. For those machines that we provide on our own, that's normally not a problem. But we need this also for those external machines becoming more and more important for all the community guys. And that's the reason for it. Yes, so don't be surprised when you ask for some numbers or some email addresses just to reach the administrators of the original machines. Yes, have all available updates installed all the time, just to avoid some security leaks. Secure the machines and servers. I guess everyone agrees with this, is a good idea. Use monitoring, so maybe we can fix the problem before anyone else notices it. have backups. As we noticed already in the past, maybe it is important to have backups, especially when people start developing on a production service. And yeah, shut down unneeded services. Because we have many, many services and less people, we just need to decide what can we do? What can we do with the time that we have left? And we decided, okay, if a service is not longer used, we will just simply shut it down. If it's a virtual machine, okay, just save the image back so we can restart it anyway. But that will happen, and we agreed that we will review all the running services every 6 months, if it's worth running them, or just shut them down and get rid of it. Get rid of the administrative part. Yeah, and that's it. That's the openSUSE infrastructure. I guess it's easy. I hope it's understandable. And with this simple basic rules, I guess we should be able to make it. Here I have the URL. So, questions. Questions I already gathered. Not yet. Often people ask me, what operating system are you using? Yes, of course. What do you think? Only openSUSE. Hey! Okay. Yes, mostly openSUSE. Because we also use a SUSE Linux Enterprise server and some packages that we have in a special infrastructure repository. But trust me, that's it. It's SUSE running there. SUSE driving the SUSE infrastructure. Hey guys, eat your own dog food. We're doing it all the time. What should you do if you want to start a new service? Easy, isn't it? Just convince us. We currently have a mailing list. Sooner or later we have a ticket system. Start asking questions. With the virtualization structure that we have, we can provide virtual machines. And if your services get more and more important, we can think about more storage, maybe. Maybe not, but we will see. It's all discussable. The only point is, we will not ask around in the community, does someone like to have a virtual machine? No, it's you who need to come up to us and ask us. Sorry for this, but I have not this brain scanner available like the NSA has. Yes, I already requested one, but I'm just on the waiting list. Okay, can you join the team? Yes, of course, we're hiring. Okay, if you don't want, ask us again. And we are also available on the org channel. So, no way to hide anymore. Start, join the team. Anything I can already help with. Now it becomes interesting for me. Because, yes, we have vacant admin positions. And as you see, there are a lot. There are services up and running the community uses more or less on a daily basis, which have no active maintainer. And me and my team is only doing the basic administration on those machines, means installing the updates. What we normally don't do as administrators is developing on the code that is really used by the community. So if you have, for example, AppArmor openSUSE org, yes, a domain exists, yes, an application exists, unmaintained since around 2 or 3 years. If you have a look at Connect, yes, from time to time, if the openSUSE team has a little spare time, they start working on it. But that's it. The same for all that other stuff that is listed here. Even as Hannah mentioned, our main starting point in the web for new users has not seen any update since 2 years. A sad story. And always people come to me and say, hey, but you can do it, you're the administrators. I say, yes, I can keep those machines up and running, and I'm doing this for many years now. But it's not me who is providing the content. So if we find some students, if we find some interesting people inside the community who say, hey, maybe this is something I can grow with. I can train myself, learning new languages, learning other things. Yes, ask us. We have some nice applications where you can dive into, where you can just increase your coding skills and maybe get the benefit that you're then more or less welcomed inside the community, depending on what you code. And of course, you have some reputation afterwards. So yes, it's a long list currently with, let's say, open position, unmaintained hosts, if you say it in that way. And what I hope is that we get more and more people on board who say, yes, I want to start with, for example, mailing list administration or those IRC cloaks that are already requested but nobody's handling it. Thanks to the board, someone stepped in already, but as we discussed yesterday, maybe it's not so good that some board member is taking over administrative tasks because you have to decide about those things, not implement it. So yes, welcome, but maybe there are other guys who can help you. And so, yes, for example, for this position, we also have a mentor and a tutor, maybe. So, yes, you will be covered. We will guide you. Don't feel alone when you say, hey, maybe I have an interest in some of those, but I don't know what it is. It's not that we say, okay, here's the root access, have fun. Yeah? So we will guide you through the process. We have the IRC channel to help you, we have mailing lists to help you, and we have, I guess, a lot of other things where we can help you. And then maybe next time we have a big round here with all those administrators of openSUSE infrastructure, and then we drink a beer or two. Okay. As shown already, I have just 5 minutes left or so. So now it's time to ask some questions, some important questions. That's good. So it was not so important. Can we have this microphone, please? Playing games.
It's not important questions. At the beginning of this slide, you mentioned about hardware in SUSE and openSUSE build service. I want to know how many machines are running with the openSUSE build service. Are they virtual machine or hardware, physical machine? Where is the location? Because openSUSE build service is more favor.
So, where are they running? Here. Well, this is the openSUSE build service.
Where is the location? Can you tell me the location of the build service? How many machines? Are they virtual machine or physical machine? 45.
So around 45 machines. Increased since a few months with the cloud rack.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, hello.
My question is there a list of what all those services are? I mean, how are we going to know about what these services do and to get to know a bit and see whether we are interested? That's number one. And number two is, as I understand, you said that you have some guys that they come in, they fix the service, and they go back to their real work. It may be a case that in order to attract more admins to do this sort of work, is to give some sort of reward, say, at the end of the year. You know, you qualify them that they are capable of doing the work, and perhaps they win their entry into the next openSUSE conference that may be somewhere that's could be a lot of money. So involved in petting it by himself. So that's a proposal to the board, to the board, if they can accept that. But if we can find out a little bit about these services, what they do, and what sort of skills do you need to be able to get to see whether we can help on those, that would be a start.
Yes, thanks. I will give it to the board. I'll make sure that they are interested.
So, great talk, thank you for that. One quick question, can I have root?
What?
Can I have root?
Word?
Root.
Heard. Yes, of course. Just build it.
Yeah, so the question is, how hard is it for you to trust new people and give them access to some of the crucial services that are running?
Normally for me it's not so problematic, because right now the infrastructure is ready to allow remote access to those virtual machines via cloud. And so if we trust them first, guide them, and see how they work, it's just easy to see if they do some crazy stuff or just want to learn and improve their skills. So yes, everyone makes errors. So when you have a new guy, probably the first thing that he does is make the service quality not so good because he needs to try out some things. But that's normal. That's what I expect. So if the guy is asking to get access to the service, we will find some way to arrange it, and then we will see. Does it answer your question? Okay.
Yeah. What are the minimum requirements that you have for somebody to be an admin for any of the services? So, you know, you get young guys at home that are in their spare time contributing, and they like the idea of sysadmin kind of fun, and maybe they have an idea that they want to be a sysadmin in the future. So this is kind of a good, you know, first step of building up some portfolio and experience and knowledge, etc. So for those that are remote looking in, what's the minimum entry barrier to be able to help out?
In general, the minimum barrier is you should know something about openSUSE Linux. But for most of the rest, we can guide you, we can assist you. So for my team, it's a bit different. So I have just LPA certified administrators in my team, but they are able to help as much as they can to guide those people. And we already had some community users having access on community openSUSE.org, working on some rake scripts, crazy stuff, even I don't understand. And we came to the agreement that they just need some script running as sudo, allowing them to restart their rake server from time to time. And if this is one of the outcomes of a discussion, it's perfect. Because I guess everyone knows that we are all just humans, making errors, could not know everything. And if we have some trust relationship inside, and I will come on your side saying, okay, I will trust you that you will do nothing ugly with the servers, I guess we get something back. So I will trust those who came and say, okay, I want to join you, I want to help. And then we can see if this trust is worth or not.
So you'll trust me? personally?
Yes, always. You're doing a good job.
There's one more thing. These services are 24/7, aren't they?
No.
What are they, 13/5? What are they?
We don't have any service level agreements for any openSUSE infrastructure. We are always trying in our free and spare time over the weekend, when most of the community guys are online, trying to build their stuff, to be there and have an eye on it. But it's our free time as administrators at SUSE. And the build service itself, especially the build service which is available on build openSUSE.org, does not have any service level agreements yet. And I guess it would also be hard to get some service level agreements there, because who should do it?
Does this go to the hardware as well? Is the hardware 24/7 covered, or?
The hardware is not 24/7 covered. It's professional hardware, so we don't buy the cheapest desktop machines to build something. But again, normally it's my team taking care of all that stuff, and we are there from Monday 9 o'clock until Friday 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's it. So if the main server would die on a Saturday, it's probably that the build service will be down until Monday morning 9 o'clock when we arrive. So all that you see normally over the weekend that has been fixed, it's just we as administrators inside the community jumping in and helping the people. So if you want to have the build service 24/7 available, you need probably some service level agreement, and then you need to pay people for it. And that's what we don't have. It's different for other build service structures that we have inside the company, also outside, but for openSUSE there is simply no service level. Okay. No other questions? Thank you.